All right, it's back.
There we go. So we're back.
Yeah, so we
talk about focus, we talk about discipline.
Yeah.
What's the third key?
The third thing is consistency.
Okay.
Consistency. I think one of the issues is that we have this vision and we get started and we go hard at it and it doesn't happen fast enough for us. And so we kind of stop and go with it.
Yeah.
But you got to do the right thing consistent enough, long enough, and it'll eventually be enough.
Yeah.
And so I think consistency is very much so the key to success. And then the last one, which is big, I think this is, as one will say, huge. This is confidence.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're not confident about what you're doing, if you don't believe in what you're doing, no one else will. And I think confidence is really, really, really important in everything you do. You have to take ownership of who you are. You have to take ownership of what you do. And you have to take ownership of the results you can get. The bottom line is I am darn good in helping businesses grow.
You're fantastic.
I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And I'm not arrogant because I think when you're arrogant, it repels people.
Yeah.
But when you're confident, it attracts people. And so that's what it is.
So let me ask you this then. As a small business owner, as a salesperson, as a marketer, sometimes to get that confidence is difficult. Everyone wakes up, the same wage day. You got the voice which you can listen to, the one that says you can or the one that says you can't. And you have a lot of fear. So how do people get from that fear to get to that confidence to get to that successful business?
Well, I think you got to look, everything is perception, right? How do you perceive what is happening to you in life? Most times fear is a direct result of some type of failure that took place in your life. And so we have this fear of failure. And so fear becomes the paralysis that keeps you from moving forward. But what I do is I kind of look at failure as a gift.
Right.
I look at failure as a gift because to me, failure is nothing more than a life lesson that says, oops, that didn't work.
Sure.
And literally what failure does is it makes me smarter because I know what didn't work that time, so I'll know what to do the next time. For example, the gentleman that created the vacuum cleaner, he had 10,000 models before he found the one that was successful.
Yeah, there's so many success stories like that, isn't there?
Yeah, and so, but look at where we are now with the vacuum cleaner. It's part of the fabric of our society. And so I think that when you look at failure from a different point of view, that will help to create the consistency, build the confidence, and keep you moving forward in what it is you're seeking to accomplish.
So then let's talk about then for the person who wants to transition and financially they're struggling.
Yeah.
So what advice do you give them to take themselves from where they are in that financial position, but then to get them into their business? How do they do it from a financial perspective?
Well, you are the international sales expert, and so I would be remiss if I did not say, number one, you got to sell.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest myths of entrepreneurs is to believe that they can be an entrepreneur without selling.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It's like I want my own business, but I'm not a salesperson. Well, you don't want your own business.
Yeah.
You have to sell. But also in closing that gap, you got to do it one day, $1, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Like for me, when I opened up my dry cleaners when I was about 19 years old, I opened up a dry cleaners, a couple of them. And what I did, and I didn't have any money. I had $80. So real talk, Wes, I opened up a dry cleaners. I started a dry cleaning business with $80.
Wow.
I took the $80 and I went and got some dry cleaning tickets made up and I put on there Executive Dry Cleaning Solutions. We come to you. And I literally would go house to house picking up people's clothes, go back to my small 1.5 bedroom apartment. And here it is. I'm tagging clothes, putting the tags on the clothes, all of that stuff up to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I deliver it to a local dry cleaners by which I brokered a wholesale deal. They clean them. When I get off work, I go back, pick the clothes up, bag them, and then I take them to deliver them to the customers and get paid.
With your own tags on.
Right.
Yeah. And
I did that for a year, just picking up and dropping off. And then I opened up a facility.
Wow. Debt
free. But I started with $80.
It's funny. A lot of people think that they need a lot of money to start. But really in the day, it's this, and the word hustle gets used a lot in today's terminology. And it's not a bad terminology now compared to maybe it was 10 years ago. But, you got to sell, you got to hustle, and you got to find those relationships and broker those deals.
Yeah, you have to. And I must say to you that out of all of the businesses I've ever started, I've owned about 10, 12 businesses across 10 different industries. I've never actually got a loan from the bank to start it.
Wow, always been debt free.
Always been one day, $1, one sweat, one tear at a time.
And then you build them up and sell
and
them
then
off.
You build them, you sell them, you get capital, and you continue to do it. And that's exactly what has happened to me as an entrepreneur. Keyword pray.
So when you look at the market, and obviously you've had a lot of businesses in different areas, where do you see the market? Where do you see the gaps for entrepreneurs and salespeople and marketers, etc., moving forward? Where are the gaps now?
The gaps is wherever there's a problem.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the reality is find your passion,
yeah.
Right? Make certain the passion you find is directly connected to a problem.
Yeah.
And then you become the solutionist.
That's the fundamentals of sales, isn't it? In your business, there's a problem and there's a sale. You know?
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what it is. What frustrates the heck out of you on a daily basis and you all find yourself saying, this should be this way. You know, if I was this, I would do it this way. Well, why don't you be that and do it that way? And because there's at least 1,000 people in the world that's thinking like you do, and you don't need more than 1,000 people to help you become a millionaire.
So true, and you know what? If it can save people's time,
yeah,
you know, we're all time poor, aren't we? What are your top tips for entrepreneurs? So you gave us the 4 keys: the focus, the discipline, the consistency, and the confidence. But if you could nail it down and say, give us your top tips to become successful, to become financially secure.
My top tips. Once you walk in those 4 keys, I think it's important that you never give up.
Yeah.
You got to keep going.
Yeah.
I think it's important that, to be honest with you, this is going to sound probably off the wall, but you mentioned how do you make money? You got to pay your bills.
Yeah.
You got to pay your debt.
Yeah.
Reinvest back into your business. Don't take the profits from your business and go and splurge. Reinvest back into your business. Always use your business as a seed to grow the next harvest.
Yeah.
And so I think all of those things are important. You got to have a good team.
Yeah, you do.
You got to build a good team. And let me tell you, there's 4 essential things that has to be on your team. Number 1, you have to have a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Number 2, you have to have a great accountant.
Damn straight about that.
Come on. Number 3, you have to have a great relationship with your banker.
Yep.
And number 4, if you decide that you want to be a partner, you got to find great partners like my partner, Wes. And so those are the things, just some of the things you do. Build a good team. Never give up. Reinvest back into the business. Be passionate about what it is that you're doing. And this, I think, is very important. Don't pursue money.
Explain that.
I think one of the biggest challenges and what causes great distractions in our lives as entrepreneurs is that we chase after the money.
Right.
And that means we begin to focus on our activities on the highest bidder.
Yeah.
Wherever the biggest bang for the buck is, that's where we go. So we don't build a foundation. We don't build stability. And guess what? The challenge is once you catch up with the money and you're doing it and you're not passionate about it, eventually you're going to lose it.
It fizzles out, doesn't it?
Yeah. So my thing is pursue purpose.
Yeah.
And in the pursuit of purpose, money comes.
I get it.
Pursue your passion and pursue your mission.
And your enthusiastic nature. Etc.
All of that, it exudes. And so you got to understand that money follows mission.
Yeah.
What's your mission in life?
Money's the byproduct of success.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a resource. My mission in life is simple: to empower people to live a better life. And so that's what my focus is. And as long as I'm empowering people to live a better life, then somehow or another, I believe that God makes it work for me and money begins to come to me. Just because I am seeking to, number 1, be a solutionist, solve a problem. Number 2, help people. And number 3, I believe in those things that I'm doing.
So where's the Now Network and where's Dan Johnson going to be in, say, 5 years' time?
So 5 years tops. So this is what I did. And as an entrepreneur, you know, you got to be flexible enough so you never get bent out of shape, right? And the Now Network, we've been chugging along now for, like you said, 11 years.
Yeah.
Our goal is to tap into 1% of the market of small business ownership. So
Wow.
if you're looking at 19 million small business owners that are sole proprietorships that need our services, I want 1%.
Right.
And so that means I want at least 190,000 members into the Now Network. That's number one. In order to do that, though, that's going to take an extreme amount of capital and work to really put yourself in that position. So what we've been doing is we've been chugging away, one small business owner, one entrepreneur at a time, building the network. But what I also had to do is I had to capitalize our efforts. And so what I did was I started a real estate investment company.
Yeah.
And so we've been doing that now, acquiring real estate, flipping properties, and doing home improvement, because that becomes the seed that's necessary to continue to funnel into the Now Network to assure its success.
Yeah, every business needs a cash flow model.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So for anyone watching, whether it be on the Instagram Live, the Facebook Live, how do they contact you?
You know what? It's real simple. Believe it or not, Empowered by Dan.
Nice and easy.
Empowered by Dan. You can go to empoweredbydan.com. Follow me on Facebook, Empowered by Dan. Twitter, Empowered by Dan. Instagram, Empowered by Dan. LinkedIn, Empowered by Dan.
Nice and easy.
They got it, right? Empowered by Dan.
Jump on. Go to the internet, www.empoweredbydan.com.
That's it.
Email you, call you, whatever. Okay, last question. Actually, let me do a recap, then I've got my last question for you. So, the tips you gave, that you had the 4 keys, which you spoke about, which was the focus, the discipline, the consistency, and the confidence. We spoke about never giving up, you know, for the success of businesses and salespeople and marketers out there. You just can't give up. You know, you get knocked down, you get back up. It's the person that stays down is the person that doesn't end up getting there. And, you know, if you've got $80 in your back pocket, the same as what Dan had when he opened up his dry cleaning business when he was 19, you can start your own business at whatever price you got in your back pocket. You just got to start $1 at a time, $1 at a time. And probably the biggest thing I've taken out here, which is small businesses, which is the fundamentals of sales, but it's also the fundamentals of business, which is, you know, look at where the problems are in the market and solve them, and business will be attracted and will come to you.
Exactly.
So my last question for you, Dan, when you come to Australia?
You know what? I'm coming. I am on my way. I am an unofficial Aussie, you know, and I can't become official until I touch the soil.
Exactly right.
So we're going to make that happen, and we're going to come and have some fun and enjoy the wonderful celestial, terrestrial aspects of all that Australia has to give.
Yeah, Australia's a great place. So.
I tell you, if Australia is any indication of you and your family, I may come and get stuck there.
Yeah, you know what? Happens quite, you know, it's a great place. It is an absolutely great place. Well, you know what? Everyone on the Facebook here and the Instagram, appreciate your time. Make sure you like it, share it, you know, put comments in. You know, like we always say, we'll get back to you if you leave a comment. If you want something brought to our attention, as in next week or the week after, can you speak about, you know, whether it be sales or overcoming objections, you know, put down a topic and email that to us or direct message, and we'll get that in as a team. We'll go through it and we will look at it. We'll try and get everything to the people out there. So, but this is Dan Johnson, CEO of Now Network. Fantastic guy. I want to say thank you so much for your time, mate. You know, coming out of your business schedule here, so we appreciate that. And I believe that every single person who will listen to this, and you'll be able to get this on iTunes pretty soon. You can jump on YouTube. We'll also be here on our Facebook Live as well, or you can replay it. So thank you so much. Appreciate it, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, sir.
And my name is Wes York, and thank you, everybody. This is Your Talk, everything sales and business, coming from New York. We'll see you guys next week back in Australia.